Good morning again, everybody. It's a beautiful morning today on this 24th day of July 2021. This morning I want to talk about, based on a comment that was made to one of my videos, somebody suggested and asked if I could make a video on what I mean when I say fight. Now, when we use the word fight, it can mean a lot of things, right? So depending on the context. For example, when you get in an argument with somebody, they might say, "Why are you fighting?" So in that context, fighting is, why are you raising your voice? Why are you arguing, right? It's just words. So the person might say, those words that you're using, you're fighting. So that's one way to look at it. If I say, me and you gonna get in a fight, I'm talking about a fist fight, right? Physical aggression, physical fight. If I'm talking about political issues, religious issues, and we say, this calls for a fight, I could be referring to an argument, a debate. A debate could be called a fight. So it could be many different things depending on the context you use. Then that's what the word fight will mean for that context. In this case, when I use the word fight, matter of fact, the channel, the Christian Contender, the Christian Fighter, I'm not advocating for a physical fight, fist fight. I'm not advocating necessarily either for a physical aggression or violent revolution, because you see, there's at least two types of revolutions. There's a peaceful revolution, and then there's a violent revolution. A peaceful revolution is something like Gandhi, something like Martin Luther King Jr., one of the biggest peaceful revolutions in the world that's ever been, Christianity, Jesus, right? He led the most peaceful revolution, and to this day, has been going on. So these are some forms of peaceful revolutions. And then you got violent revolutions. You got all these countries that are taken over. You got the French Revolution, for example, and all the crap that happened there, all the violence and bloodshed and murders and stuff like that. And so you got all these types of violent revolutions. And so when I use the word, I can even use the word revolution. I can use the word fight. I can use the word let's contend. And they're not necessarily negative. It depends. We have used the word fight so much with a negative connotation that people find it hard to believe that when you use the word fight, you could actually be referring to something positive. There are times that it is necessary to fight. Dare I say, there's even times that it's necessary to fight physically, with physical aggression, with firepower. You see, many times we as Christians are so quick to condemn and maybe to judge people that join the military, people that decide to take up arms to defend the country, to defend the rights. Yet, we like to take advantage of the freedoms that their fight granted us. So it's kind of like a hypocrisy, either we condemn their actions for going to war, for securing our freedoms, or for giving us our freedoms, or because we cannot condemn those actions while at the same time taking advantage of the benefits of their bloodshed. See, Jesus used the words, "Greater love hath no one than he that puts his life down for his friends," right? Because he was talking about himself. He put his life for all of us. So there's no greater love than that. But at the same time, one can say that, for example, police officers, there's a war on police nowadays, on law and order, on all authorities. One can say that police officers, one can say that, paramedics, doctors, soldiers, warriors, are putting down their lives on the line, sacrificing their lives so that we can have our freedoms. See, they're literally and physically fighting wars, and they're suffering for it. Yet, we thank them for that because we take advantage of the benefits that their bloodshed or their fight has given us. So we can't have it both ways. So in this case, when I use the word fight, I guess more than anything, it would depend on the context of the video that I make at the moment. Sometimes I'll use the word fight to mean let's have a healthy debate, let's argue, let's contend, let's sit down. On other occasions, I'll mean with fighting, I'll mean resist, I'll mean let's should I say rebel against the corruption by simply not obeying what they have told us to do. For example, all this COVID pandemic, all it has done is the government gets to look at us and say, look at these idiots, they're like cows. All we say is do this, and they just simply obey without question. See, I'm one of those kinds of individuals that I obey government. I'm all in favor of law and order. But when it's corrupt to the core and they're doing these things on purpose, then I always say, question everything. Like Thomas Jefferson said, question even the very existence of God. He wasn't saying that he denied God. He was a theist. He believed in God. But he believed that God was simply out of the picture when it came to matters of men. But he believed in God. So what he's meant with that was question everything. Use logic. Use common sense. Don't just simply go with the flow. Don't just simply go with what the majority are saying. Listen. And when they give an order, when they give a command, when they give a mandate, question it and say, does this make any sense? Why are they telling me to do this? So other ways of fighting is protesting, a peaceful protest. Other ways of fighting are by uniting and having what do you call these things? The word, can't think of the word right now. Like embargoes, but that's states, that's nations. When you decide to not shop at certain places or go to certain places, I forget the word. You guys know what I'm talking about. The word skips my mind right now, but that's what I mean by fight. See, there's different ways of fighting, so it's hard to simply say, this is what I mean by the word fight, because it might mean this on one video and then might mean something else on another video. So the key here is to pay attention to the context on every video that I make. And that's what that word fight will mean for that moment. So, like right now, how do we fight? First of all, as Christians, we fight on our knees, right? We fight through prayer. We fight with the biggest weapon and the strongest weapon that no human army has ever had nor will ever have. Not even the strongest nations of the world. And that is the Bible, the sword, the word, right? And then there's other ways where we can fight, where we simply say, you know what, I'm not going to obey this corruption. I'm not going to go to this place. I'm not going to give my money to support the sin. In reality, all these laws that are being passed are sin that is being legalized. So one way of fighting as a Christian, as a citizen, is voting. One way is going to meetings. I love it. All these parents that are going to these school board meetings, they're fighting without actually throwing fists. So these are some of the things that I mean by the word fight. So simply put, just pay attention to the video that I'm doing at the moment. Focus on the context of that video, and that way you will understand more clearly what I mean by fight on that given video. So anyways, thanks a lot. God bless you. Have a great day.